road. Dynamic Banter. Time to shut up and start the show.
That's because Kevin was screaming, help, 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 in the microphone. He's blowing out the levels. Screaming for help.
For real screaming for help.
He was for real screaming for help.
For real.
Dude, I don't have a white noise machine. I have a recording of Kevin really screaming for help.
Really screaming for help. I am recording, by the way. I am too.
Dude, I am too.
I am too. I am three.
I'm screaming for help. That's 80%. That's 100.
Dude, it's incredible what that does.
Isn't it incredible how light can make you see? We got Nicholas Hamilton. Oh, yeah. Nick Hamilton, you're on Dynamic Banter. Mike and Steve and Kevin.
Hi.
Leah and Josh. Corey.
What the fuck is he calling?
It's like you're going through a tunnel.
How do you mean?
It just sounds like you're going through a tunnel.
It's more important that you sound good.
I guess so, but I'd like to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Sure.
How are you, Nick? Are you in trouble?
I am in trouble.
What do you
help?
need?
I'm in trouble.
Uh-oh. How do we help you? What do you need?
I just need you guys.
He just needs you. Okay.
All right.
Well, here we are.
Great.
You got us, bud.
Hell yeah.
Is there anything else we could do?
I'm gonna kill him.
Okay, well, we lost Nick. Maybe forever. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dynamic Banter. Want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, from the whole team here at Dynamic Banter, for coming to the shows in Tacoma and Spokane.
Yeah, we're back.
Dude, how funny. For like a whole big build up and then everything stops, dude. I think that's funny.
I'm in hell, Mike. Is there still time to vote? I forgot to vote.
You should vote today. It's important to vote every day. That's what I say. It's very important to vote every day.
I'm having that fucking same problem that I need to take care of. Oh no. Like I need to make it a priority.
Okay.
Because I keep running into this problem where where is this folder? Dynamic Banter sounds.
Oh, are none of your sounds there?
There's just this. I don't know, man. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to get a new computer. Oh my God! The good chef's here to give us a hand. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who's there? This is the first time he's been on the show.
Is that true? I don't think so. Uh-oh.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, what's up? It's our chef.
It's the chef Giuseppe Abontan.
Giuseppe. It's our chef Giuseppe.
I understand you're having a little bit of a problem with your sound.
Yeah, you know, it's just something that I should be taking care of before we do the show, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah.
Your music's a little late.
I'm sad. What do you say, Steve?
I said the music is a little late.
You have a problem with your sound.
Well, maybe it's me and not you.
What do you mean, Steve?
Giuseppe, we just got back from our really fun tour. Our
You
DB.
guys want to do it?
We did. We did our DB weekend.
And how did you do? Did you have fun? Did you make it a friend? Did you make a love?
What was the last part?
Did you make a friend?
Well, yeah, I guess we did make new friends, didn't we?
Sometimes the friend you make, Mike, Steve, Gabby, is the friend you make along the way as well.
That's right.
Mamma mia.
You okay, buddy?
I freak out for a second. Did you see that documentary on Netflix about the Italians getting swept up into space?
That's real?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called The Italian Woman Who Got Swept Up into the Space.
All right, well, listen, we have a show to do, Chef Giuseppe, but I did want to say that we love your cooking and we're really excited for you to make us a meal for the show. What are you cooking today, Chef?
I'm cooking up a little of this.
There he goes. There he goes.
Why did you show up?
We love him. We love that he shows up. We don't have any problem with him showing up.
Dude, he heard that you were having problems with your sounds, and he thought
He came in and decided to be helpful.
he thought he could help.
He did.
Did you get the sounds back?
No. Well, there are some actually, but like let's find out which ones.
Yes,
Okay, so the important ones.
yes. So go back to the club.
So go back to the club. Fuck, man. That was fun.
So anyway, we did our little DB weekend, which was really fun. So we're back, but the episode that came out before this is us before we left.
Yep.
Right.
We were just little babies. We didn't know what the show was gonna be like.
We didn't know anything back then. But now we know. And what did we learn from going on the roads?
We learned that Tacoma is a very empty city on the weekend.
They're real spread out. They're still doing social distancing.
They're,
In Tacoma.
It just it felt like it was just kind of bizarre.
I feel like no one's ever brushed shoulders with anyone in Tacoma. Not on the street. Like there's always enough room.
Yeah. Like there's, like I didn't even see dog walkers or anything.
I remember seeing 2 dogs, and they were cute. But I was too far away to pet them because we're spread out.
Yeah. Well, they were keeping their distance. They
I will
knew.
say, like, very beautiful color palette in Tacoma.
Oh yeah.
I very much enjoyed how like nice and like blue green it is.
Yes.
And we never get precipitation, so it was nice to kind of be in a wet area.
That humidity is really a treat. For real, because this is the desert. We live in the fucking desert.
Yes.
You know? And so the humidity in Washington was a real welcome. I welcomed it.
Yeah.
It felt so like, it felt like you were being kissed by the dew. You know, like you're just being, and your face felt like nice and fresh, and it
Yeah.
didn't feel dry and like cracked up.
It always felt like you just got out of the shower.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I liked that a lot. And then when the sun would shine through those clouds, you got to see those fall leaves.
Yeah.
And they really were fallen. It was picturesque and gorgeous, but empty AF.
Empty AF. No one's ever done a brush his shoulders off.
Empty AF and strangely empty AF.
Yeah.
And like
Speaking of empty AF, then we went to Spokane.
then we went to Spokane. Wait, but there's something I want to say about Tacoma really quick. I'm not done with Tacoma.
Okay. I just wanted to... You saw what I wanted to do.
Yeah, of course. No, that was a perfect segue.
Let's go back now, though.
But it's not a very wonderful... It's not... If this is the positivity scale...
Yeah.
This is
Where are we on the graph?
Well... But before we get to that, the gloomy part, so there was something about Tacoma that was like that really affected me.
And the weather wasn't the only thing gloomy.
That's right.
The news reporter who keeps coming in too early.
And
on the
and it's like,
transition.
no, I know you're the reporter that really wants the good segue.
Just read it. Yeah. I never get the segue.
They have like a bulletin board in the back, and it's like best segues, and there's like
The little
scratches.
picture
Yeah. And there's like Joey's got to,
Dan.
and that's just the fun they have at the news station. But anyway, so I was kind of affected by Tacoma in a really strange way because, I smoke a lot of weed, and this is a really big piece of information.
Yes.
I think
Huge if true.
huge if true. And one of the side effects of smoking a lot of weed is you kind of like, I don't know if this is the same for everybody, but I've read that you kind of like don't dream as much anymore.
Yeah, I've heard that you don't get as much REM sleep. Maybe.
Yeah, or whatever it is. It's just that you don't get dreams, or you just like truly don't remember them. Like you're getting them, but you don't remember them.
Or you have them, but they're all gay.
You have them and they're all gay. And my dad really helped me block that out as a kid.
My dad hates how gay my dreams are.
My dad said, Mijo, if you have gay dreams, I have to hit you.
You have a gay dream, you're going to have a
It's
bad
time for me
day.
to hit you. And so I never really dream, and I can't even remember the last time I had like a dream that I remembered.
Really?
Yeah, and whatever. Don't shed a
Also,
tear for
sometimes
me.
you have them and you don't. I think often you don't remember them.
Yeah, for sure. Or like there are the peppered throughout the month's dreams where I'll wake up and remember one specific thing and then
Like
try
what? Give me
to
an example.
Well, that would be hard to do, but it would be something like I slid into a cloud and it felt so warm and nice, and I remember that part, but then I try to remember what led up to that or what happened after, and then I'll just lose the whole thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get those little pieces, and that's that. But in Tacoma, the last night we were there, I had this incredibly vivid, like clear as like it happening, dream about vampires.
Can we get some Transylvania music?
I would love it. I'd love to get Transylvania music.
Transylvania instrumental.
I'm gonna say spooky Transylvanian spooky Transylvania music.com.
Go there. Maybe .net.
Yeah.
First try. 1 for 1.
So I had this like crazy vivid like crazy vampire dream.
Tell me about it.
And I just, I'll tell you what I remember. We were driving, and this was before our drive, Mike, before we drove from Spokane all the way, or from Tacoma to Spokane. And so we're driving, and I don't know who I'm with. You know how like when you have dreams, like
It's just like sometimes it's like AI people.
Yeah, exactly. I think this was AI people. And oh, it's Zoya.
She's trying to be inconspicuous. She's looking for an Airbud.
Bye.
Airbud. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Love you, Zoe. Goodbye.
And so we're in this. I should bring up like dungeon sounds,
Yeah.
like drippy
Like
dungeon.
drips.
Yeah, Let's do
This story needs more drips.
drippy cave sound. This is more than this needs.
DrippyCaveSound.com. Your one-stop shop for drippy cave
Yes.
sounds.
Sounds like we're in the urinal. Someone just dropped a turd. You hear that one? That sounded definitely like a turd.
Dude, when we came back, when we were in the airport, somebody went to space on the toilet next to
blasted
me.
off. So
We're in a Transylvanian castle and a cave.
yeah, the castle is leaky.
The castle's so big it has a cave in it.
I kind of feel like I've got a lantern or a torch, and I'm
Yeah.
in like the catacombs of this castle.
And we're podcasting.
And you're with me, yeah. This would be perfect for animated. Andre? Who surpassed us in fame and notoriety?
Yeah.
Let's tap into that frequency and see if we can get some more of that fame. Just another hit.
What
little
kind of
hit.
apparatus are we pointing around? Fame detector says we should move to West Hollywood.
So we just need another little hit. I'm driving with these AI people, and all of a sudden this like bat flies into the car, and it's like a puppet gremlin movie bat.
Oh no, terrifying.
Like kind of bigger than a regular bat, and had like an evil face, and like was like a puppet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I was in a movie where there was a puppet vampire bat in our car.
Were you scared or were you like entertained?
I was kind of
by it?
fucking freaked out, and I was like, it looks like a cool puppet, kind of.
Uh-huh.
But it like bit all of us.
Right.
And then we
You were swatting at it.
we were swatting at it. It bit all of us, and then it flies off, and then we like try to drive to like the nearest place to see if we could call for an ambulance or something, and we get taken in by these vampires that are like, sucks to be you, you're a vampire now. Like, you got bit by our boy, and now you're vampires. And I'm like, this is fucking scary and fucked up, right? Like, it was scary because, like, I don't want to be a fucking vampire. Are you fucking kidding
You got
me?
stuff to do.
And for some reason, dude, there was such a weird fucking part of the dream. Zero reason for this to happen. Just trust me. For some reason, Trisha Hirschberger showed up.
Okay.
Why? I'm in fucking Tacoma. We're on the Dynamic Banter thing.
In what role did she show up?
She was like she had been there.
She been bit.
She'd been bit and she had been there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, literally everyone else is AI people. Except for some reason,
Trisha.
Trisha Hirschberger shows up.
Who is a vampire?
Get this shit.
Yeah.
She gives me a kiss.
Whoa.
And she passes a note.
On the mouth?
Yeah.
Open mouth?
Yeah, and she passes a note to me
Yeah.
that I then, like, go, okay, Trisha, what the fuck? And then go over there and she gave me a look like, this is serious, scary shit. We're fucked.
Yeah.
And I roll open the note and it just says run. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is crazy. And then it becomes like this fucking terrifying, like, I try to escape.
You're running at this point.
And I'm like hiding, and I'm in this like rural, like, it doesn't look like Tacoma, but it's got like backwoods, kind of like almost like desert, New Mexico, like remember in Breaking Bad when they would like go out in the desert and sometimes there'd be like a shack out there or something, there'd be like all this shit out front and
Yeah,
stuff.
uh-huh.
It would be like that, and I'd be like hiding, and eventually they got me. And then they like tied me to this stake outside, and they were like, "The sunlight's gonna get you because you tried
Why
to
did they
escape."
want you, do you think?
They wanted our whole
'cause
car,
you got bit.
and I tried to escape.
Right.
Yeah. And they can't have vampires running around. Like, you
can't
gotta
have 'em
learn
out.
the.
They're
yeah.
doing it for your own benefit.
They're doing it for their benefit, like the benefit of the group.
Right, but they don't want you to get all burnt up as well.
Right, but the penalty was killing me. So what the fuck was the lesson there? Like, they can't get their vampire secrets out.
Right, they can't get their vampire nut off if they're not the ones who get the
They
kill.
can't get their vampire nut off, and that's important. So anyway, I ended up waking up and I was like, that's fucking crazy. And the fact that I remembered that much of it, and even remember that much of it now,
Yeah.
is like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember much more. And so I was
What do you think
telling
it means?
Well, I was telling Haley about it, and she's like, dude, you like Tacoma is like vampires because it's like an empty place during the day.
Yeah.
No one's around in the daylight.
Yeah.
But at night there were definitely more people out.
Right.
And so Haley was like, you got like a psychic dream that was like the vampires of Tacoma were like, you have to get out of here. And that was the night we were leaving Tacoma. The next day we went to Spokane.
You think they wanted you to leave?
I think they were like, if you fucking don't leave, we're gonna turn you into a vampire.
Whoa. Interesting. Very interesting.
But crazy that it was there that I had that kind of vivid dream. And also crazy that it was like, it kind of connects with how it felt in Tacoma. Was that like, there was no one around during the day really. And I guess what we learned was that like, it's just the area we were in is like a business district or something.
We were in the not fun district.
Right. We were in the where everybody works place.
Right.
And because at one point I found it very strange that, you know, we were looking for somewhere to eat. And a lot of the places like on Yelp or whatever were like not open on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really bizarre. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it must just be a work lunch happy hour.
But that's
place.
exactly what I think we ended up finding out was someone in the audience was like, yeah, they're only open during the week because that's when the place is filled with people and businesses.
I got to tell you, man, between day 1 and day 2, I always try to find some good breakfast place, and I woke up too stupid early, and I drove like 2 miles away from where we were, and it was a little bit more like suburbs, and I ended up finding a really good like pancake place. And while I was waiting for my table, I went around the block and I found like a used record store.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And that was like really, really nice. Totally different vibe from like, we were in kind of a city.
Yeah.
And that was more of like a, just on the outskirts, like suburbs.
And that felt a little more alive.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, there were a ton of people waiting for pancakes. There were more people waiting for pancakes than I saw all
in the whole weekend in Tacoma. Yeah. But I love finding like cool little shops, like record shops, and like I like going into antique stores or like a thrift store that's like the thrift store there.
Because it's all very of the place.
Yeah, exactly. You'll only find things that are like people there like.
You know what I fucking noticed? That I was like super made horny by?
Yeah.
In the record store, their like indie rock section was the biggest section in the whole store.
Oh, that's tight.
And then like all the other genres kind of sprinkled around it. And I just feel like going around where we are in Southern California, you don't like grunge was birthed over there. And so that's where most of that stuff came from. And around here you get more like I don't know, there's like a lot of pop rock stuff. That's like the majority of the stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it was interesting seeing all that like
that indie rock.
Yeah.
Because indie rock isn't like a huge genre if you go into like Amoeba Records in Hollywood.
Right.
You're just like, it's really more about like the more popular bands, I think.
Yeah.
You know, especially
yeah.
for a record store like that.
Yeah. But
And
it's
if you-
nice to go to places that are like of the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate part, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to this, is, you know, you go to a place and you're like, you know, you're traveling, you're flying there, you're in an airplane and you've brought the things that you've packed, you know, and you don't want to go to a cool thrift store, and then you're like, fuck, that's like the coolest thing I've ever seen, and now you gotta pack it up and fly back with it.
Yeah. You almost gotta like make room for it.
Yeah, and like I was like, I fucking hate bringing shit that I don't end up wearing.
Same.
It's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
And it's a problem with us in the past. We needed to figure out before we got there.
Yeah. Just poor planning yourself.
Yeah, it's bad planning every time.
Yeah.
And I tried to pack as light as fucking possible because it's so annoying to fly with multiple bags.
Yeah, and when your bags are all stuffed.
Ugh, and
Not
dude,
comfortable.
totally stuffed bags, and you're like, you know, you're going in shuttles to like your hotel, or you're walking around town with your shit because, you know, like whatever. It's just awkward shit to travel with, and so if you're gonna fly somewhere, I'm like, I gotta travel light. But my backpack is still fucking like fucking 10 pounds of beef in a 5-pound bag. And so there's no way in hell I'm bringing back any cool shit.
Yeah.
Like I can't. And so that part really sucks. And I wish I was better about knowing what the fuck I'm gonna wear and use on the trip, you know?
Yeah.
What can we do about this? There needs to be like some kind of class or something.
Just travel more. You have
And
more
then you
experience.
get better at it.
I brought very minimal clothes this time. And I still needed to like put this looper thing in the bag, so I needed to like account for that. And I think I brought the perfect amount of clothes for 4 days.
Yeah.
And I think I nailed it this time.
I think I was close. I had 2 extra shirts that I just didn't wear. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
What are we doing?
What am I doing? I had a 3-hour session with my therapist about it.
I said, hey, bud, what am I doing? He said, what do you mean specifically?
Well, 'cause
I
I was
said,
like,
you tell
yeah.
me. And I just looked at him for an hour. I paid $400.
Yeah, I paid you to tell me.
What am I doing?
And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? What makes me do this? You know,
I bring
like,
enough boxers to ship my pants like twice a day.
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
And you could roll them up tight.
Yeah.
4 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
Which is already too many.
Yeah.
You wear your socks 4 days in a row and be fine.
Yeah.
It's not great, but you can.
Would you ever like just take the clothes you're wearing and like no other article of clothing, article of clothing.
Where?
This is
For
the
how
Irish
long?
episode. Like, let's say you're on the same type of trip, 4 days,
4
2 days
days.
of travel.
So I leave with a set of clothing on.
Yeah. And like, would you ever like consider going with like no clothes, but like when you get there, you
buy
find like
something?
the nearest mall. Yeah. And you're like, only when you like find something.
Do I have room in the baggage
For it
that
to
I brought
come back.
for it to come back?
Yeah. Or what if you just buy like, you
'Cause
know,
then it's like,
cheap
what's the
shit,
point?
and then you just leave it.
You just leave it?
You like wash
leave
it in the hotel and then you fold it up real nice.
Yeah.
And then you put a post-it note that says washed and free.
Here. Dude, there are comedians. I don't want to say exactly who it is because I don't know if it's right. But they would go tour and they would like buy an Xbox and they would just leave it in the hotel with a note that said like, give this to
Whoa, that's
whoever.
tight. But they
Yeah.
wanted to play Xbox in their hotel until they were done?
Yeah,
or
and they're
they...
rich, so they just go buy an
Damn.
Xbox. You know? I think especially if you're like just trying to get sober.
Yeah.
And there's so much temptation to like go out, but you could be like, I'm here all weekend.
Yeah.
I'm doing a weekend and I have to lock myself in here so I don't go drink or use drugs.
Right. Or like cheat on my girlfriend or wife.
Or cheat my
whatever.
girlfriend and my wife.
Yeah.
Dude, my
and
girlfriend
wife.
would be devastated
If I cheated on
if
my
I
wife.
cheated on my wife.
That's the episode title. My girlfriend would be devastated if I cheated on my wife.
That's true. They're really tight.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
so
and she
funny.
doesn't want anything to happen, you know, because they got
just don't
good
want
thing.
drama.
Yeah, they don't
want
want.
drama.
And I think everyone can relate to that, right? I've seen some TikToks where people, they swear by this. They'll go to like Target and they'll get like an egg cooker, like a cheap little like $25 egg cooker,
Okay.
and then they'll just buy eggs and like cheese, and they'll like make like, you know, eggs in their hotel room just to have for like on the cheap to eat on the cheap, and then they'll just leave it there and be like free egg cooker, or whatever
Used
yeah.
4 times.
Yeah,
Great.
right. That's an interesting idea because it's like I'm just the product of my mother who would like, you know, it felt bad to throw something away that was still functional.
Yeah,
you know?
just it's. I wonder what is more economically
right,
like what makes more sense,
right.
and if that conflicts with being wasteful.
Well, once they find out that plastic is like what was causing us all this cancer and shit, and they like try to get rid of plastic, then it'll just be like, we shouldn't have contributed to the plastic industry. But that'll be like, you know, 100 years in the future or something.
I think plastic is good.
I like plastic.
I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for
I
plastic.
think everything's plastic. Like our fucking cars are plastic. God
Dang, dude.
Okay, let's talk about fucking Spokane for a very short amount of time. And then we'll
Let's talk about it for 1 minute for every person who was there.
Okay, perfect.
Hello?
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
This is Mike Falzone. You're on Dynamic Banter.
This is Nicholas Hamilton.
I just want to say I wouldn't even be here right now if it weren't for plastic.
For plastic.
So, Spokane was like, we knew something was up with Spokane when we like first posted
When we looked at
about
how many
the show
tickets were sold.
and how many tickets were sold well in advance
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah.
That's when we knew something was up because we sold out the first Tacoma show, and then I think we ended up selling out the second one.
Yeah, we very close.
Or it was very close.
I got the figures. A lot of people stayed in the room.
Okay.
So
So it was just a
we
full
did
room.
4 shows in Tacoma. First show was sold out from way far
Way back.
back. So thank you for that. And then there was a Surrounded that was mostly sold out.
Yeah.
And then the Hour ended up almost selling out. If not, I have the paper somewhere. It doesn't matter. And then we did a second one that was also like not sold out but pretty full.
Yeah, it was a full house.
And just a good vibe all weekend though.
Yeah.
Like everyone
Great
was
vibe.
busy. The staff was really busy and helpful, and you guys were really good to them, and that thank you very much for that. We had a great time.
Yeah, and there'll be clips or a full thing or something. We're trying to figure out what to do with the shows, but we did shoot them for those
Yeah.
of you that couldn't make it. Thanks to Kevin and Corey.
Rawr for
Big
Corey.
rar for Corey.
Yeah.
And so you'll have a chance to see at least some of that or something, and we'll figure it out. We'll cut the 2 shows together, maybe. I don't know. Or our
Maybe.
clothes will change.
There
between
needs to be a
cuts.
vote on what happens to the footage from Spokane.
Well, first of all, let me say yay, Larry.
Yay, Larry.
Yay,
Let's
Larry.
give out a yay, Larry.
Yeah,
really quick.
Larry. Amen.
And okay, so Spokane was like rough because it was like 46 people or something.
In like a 300, so
In
the
the
other,
big-
it was like a 100-person room in Tacoma.
It was like
right?
300
So it
person.
always kind of felt like full, even if there was like, I don't know. I think the lowest show was like 50. So whatever, it still kind of felt like a full room. But in Spokane, it was like a 350
It was
person
fucking
room,
huge.
and there were like 44 people there,
and they were all like as close as could be.
and still spread out somehow.
And still spread out somehow. And we were just kind of a little bummed out before the show, and but we're just doing the show when we do these live shows. Like,
Yeah.
there's a little extra oomph in there because the energy in the room and the audience can really dictate the direction of the show too.
Yeah.
If there's like some interesting shit that we observe in the audience, or if someone says some ridiculous shit, like in Tacoma when we asked what was like the most interesting thing about Tacoma.
and it took them 45
It
minutes.
took so long, and then
Yeah.
it was like the one thing was murderers,
I
serial
said one
killers.
fun fact about Tacoma,
Right.
and it took a group of people 45 minutes.
So we had some fun shit with how the direction of the show changes like that. And so it is a different experience, the live show. So what we try to do is just like do the show we do, but just do it live, and then with some audience interaction or whatever. And so that's what I feel like we did with the Spokane show. But there was just like a kind of like sadness that we couldn't shake about it. At least I won't speak for you, but I felt a sadness that like, because it was just like
Big room.
a big room.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so big, it probably wouldn't have been so bad. But,
Yeah, a lot of space.
but the show was really strange because I felt like there were a lot of really good bits,
There was.
and Kevin said there were really good bits.
There was one time where me and you did a whole hypothetical scenario. I think it was like a fake TV. I know exactly what it was. It was about a fake TV show that we were going to pitch. And me and you, at the end of it, were laughing.
So hard.
Everything fades away. There's not 44 people there.
Right.
We're just here.
in this room, yeah,
And Kevin's right there.
and we're just laughing, yeah,
And then, like, I shook myself out of it because it was just done.
yeah.
And then I looked around, and everyone was like,
Dead serious. Yeah.
and I'm like, oh.
But then, like, afterwards, there were so many people that, like, loved the show, thanks for coming, and, like, it was just a weird, everything was
they
weird.
were happy to be there, but not outwardly and during the show.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
But we're going to add in a big laugh track in that episode.
So much better if we don't, dude. So much better to hear us losing our shit and then to hear, like, someone cough in the background.
Yeah, truly. I think I upset someone and they left.
Really?
I don't know. Tell me if I'm thinking too
that
much
couple?
No, that couple was interesting because I don't think they knew who the fuck we were.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine sitting through a terrible
like,
hour and a
no
half
one's
show.
laughing kind
No
of
one's
show.
laughing, and you're like, this is my night out with my wife.
We got a lot of laughs about the aquarium in their mall because
we
they
had a
were like,
great
that was
aquarium
about
day.
their place. That they knew that.
Yeah.
So they were like laughing about that.
They didn't know our hypothetical TV show.
But there, yeah, or that we do that sometimes. But there was this guy that was like wearing a Deadpool T-shirt, like right next to me,
And he
at
was
one
not a
point
fan.
I said something about the Avengers, and I was like, "This guy's seen the fucking Avengers, I guarantee it." And I was like, but then I like,
And then he left?
I didn't see him again. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know if he stuck around
Let's
after
cut to a
that.
clip.
But the guy was wearing a fucking Deadpool shirt, so it's like, I don't know. Maybe
Were
I'm
you
reading
like
too much
making
into
fun
it.
of him? I don't get it.
No, because the guy was wearing a Deadpool shirt, so I was like, I guarantee this guy's seen the fucking Avengers.
Yeah,
And maybe he felt like I was making fun of him because he looked like a nerd or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm too my head about it. Maybe he did stick around and I'm just like losing my mind.
He was there the whole time. He really
He was there
enjoyed
the whole
show.
time. But then there was that guy, that Dan guy. Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
what
man.
the fuck?
It was the weirdest show. We let
It was-
people on stage to give their history roads, and then a couple people did that, and they were fine. There was one couple who gave a very nice history road, but I couldn't read it because I'm dyslexic and tired.
Yeah, they
and I
wrote
felt
it
bad
out.
about them. They wrote it out. No margins though, and I said that
It was
that night.
pretty
It really
intense,
freaked me
yeah.
out. I'm a big format guy, if
Yeah.
nothing else. And then we had a guy who's just like local Tacoma native named Dan, glassblower Dan, Spokane
and he
Dan.
just like hangs out there at that comedy club, I think. Like, I don't think he saw
And he
the
was the
show.
last half hour of the show.
He was the last half hour of the show. Because, you know, we opened up the show for History Roads, live History Roads. And we were like, you know, raise your hand if you have like an interesting story that you'd like to tell. And, you know, people really, they didn't at first. They was
There's
like
30 of them.
You know, and yeah, exactly. But we got one guy who like did it, and then suddenly people were like, okay, I think I get it now.
Yeah.
And that guy, like Dan, he was sitting over here on my right side. And I was like, anybody? And he goes, hell, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And he you know, like he wasn't eager to do it. But he was like, I got something I could tell you guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe we'll show you guys the clips or you've seen it already or whatever.
It might be funnier now. Because it sounds funny. It just felt so bad while it was happening.
Well, you just never know how those are going to go down. And you hope that, like, the kind of bizarre ones are sandwiched between, like, a good one, a good last one or something. Or you make it funny by throwing a big button out on it, and then like that's the end of the show. But that show, the vibes were just so fucking weird. By that point, we were just like, whatever. Like, let's fill this fucking time with people and interesting. Maybe there's something more interesting from this person than what we're fucking coughing out. And so this guy came up and told a story, which again, you'll see, whatever, patreon.com/dynamicbanter.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. And this is as much as you'll ever get of it. But he told like this interesting kind of anecdote that was funny or weird or whatever. He was getting pulled over by.
And he's like, I got another one.
Yeah, and then he I got another one. We're like, okay, fine, go for it. And then after that one, he's like, I got another one.
Yeah.
And he just like wouldn't leave. And like, you
But
know,
it was almost like justified because it's not like the rest of the show was like killing.
no, and it's not like we had really important shit to get
Like,
to.
we got time.
Yeah,
They haven't even dropped the check yet.
Yeah, that guy knew we had time.
Yeah, and he knew that wasn't worse than what we were doing.
Drop the check yet.
So he was like, yeah, I'm going to stay up here for another one. It's not like you guys are going to pull the ship to shore.
But he was just like, you know, really sweet older guy, big, like, you know.
He was very nice. He
big
was a
white
glass.
beard.
He carved glass, and he made these interesting mason jars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he gave me one. I think he gave Corey one. Did you guys get one?
Yeah, he gave me one.
And he got a fucking whitey.
Yeah, he gave me one that said fucking whitey on it. And I accidentally left it in the hotel.
Whoa, the disrespect.
But I was like, I don't know if I want effing whitey on my shit. Like,
You don't want that?
I don't know. It was weird. But I have his card, and I'm gonna hit him up, and like, you know, maybe we could get him to send in a History Road or something.
Yeah, sure.
But
I think he already did.
but he was
sent in a couple.
But then after the show, we came out to like talk to people like we do, which is kind of a fun thing to do, to meet you guys, and it's always fun and interesting. And he intercepted us before we like could get to our little line.
Yeah, he was on a mission.
And he like was very kind. He gifted us these little glass stash boxes,
Which
like,
we still have to this
which
day.
we still have to this day, each one of us. But he he's just one of those guys that like, if you don't stop him, he'll like never leave.
Sure, yeah.
And you know, whatever, that's fine. I didn't think it was annoying or bad or anything, but it's just, there's some people like that are just like, I've got stories, I've got shit to say, I have a lot of, I could tell you everything about my life kind of guys. And you know, no disrespect to that, but it was like, I could see Zoya, who was like unofficially in charge of like keeping people like in line and making sure everyone got like a picture with us and stuff, like a sweetheart, you know, not having to do that, but seeing the mess of us trying to like sign shit and take pictures and make it fair and make it seem nice. And I could see Zoya being like, I'm gonna have to come talk to this guy and be like, you gotta go now because we have to do this shit. But the guy was just so interesting and bizarre. And then one of the service guys, as I was walking away from him, I was like, man, that guy's like a total hoot, huh? And he's like, yeah, he's in here every day. Every day. I'm like, oh, tight.
Spokane Dan.
Spokane Dan. All right.
He gets on stage at the end of every show.
Let's do some ads.
He's like, Joe Coy is here. I'll take it from here, Joe.
Dude, what a bonkers thing.
Oh, it's Dane Cook. I'll be taking you from here, Dane Cook.
And I've got a story if you like, and some glass that says fuck Whitey on it. Mike, you got a show out on a YouTube.
Yeah, my Don't Tell special came out.
Yeah, man.
If you go to Don't Tell Comedy, their YouTube, my full set is on there, and there's a couple clips that have dropped. So if you want to watch those, and if you like them, if you want to share them with people, that'd be crazy helpful. I'm more proud of that than I am of any filmed set that
Dude, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That one turned out like perfectly what I thought.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. It was like that, and the time me and Kev went to Toronto. I was like, that feels really good.
Hell yeah,
Every
dude.
other time I've been like, there's something wrong with that.
Well, sometimes shit's kind of whatever. Just like this Spokane show. It's like, it's not going to stop me from wanting to go see you guys out in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going to be like a little bummer, and then you just come on back in, you pull up your pants.
Dude, the world's about balance. And let me tell you a little bit about that. So my shit came out when we were on the road. It came out, what was that? Like Friday?
Monday or so.
Monday? Monday. It came out that Monday. And it was so funny to have all this anticipation for something that I'm like very proud of and that I think is good. And then it comes out and it gets like a pretty good reception. And then like the day before, I knew that I just traveled to go bomb in a comedy club.
Yeah.
And it's like and then the night before that, dude, everybody was cooking in Tacoma for the 2 nights
Dude,
before
what
that.
a great show.
All the DBs were like rowdy and funny as fuck. All of the Surrounded, everyone killed on Surrounded.
Dude, that was
Steve
so
did Surrounded
fun.
for the first time.
I was
Did a great
honored.
job.
Thank you, man.
And then the hour was super fucking loose
So
and fun
fun.
as fuck. And then the second DB show was like off the rails because it was like added second show. And then to go to And I'm so happy that we went, because it's like, when else are we gonna go there and like see people who have been like listening to the show for years? That part, just so you know, if you're listening to us talk about Spokane and you were at that show and you feel bad and you feel like any of that is on you, the meeting you after the show catapulted anything that happened in the show. Like, that's the best possible part.
Yeah,
and the show was like kind of secondary to being able to meet people who have been listening to us for a long time.
For sure.
So thank you for making the effort to come out.
That's very nice, Mike.
And it's okay that you didn't tell any of your friends about it. You just kind of kept it a secret.
Dude, there was this moment after the show when there, you know, because we get that like people bringing their girlfriend or friend or something for the first time.
Yeah.
That was
Somebody
like
brought
the
their
worst
girlfriend.
I felt the whole night, I think.
Somebody brought their girlfriend, and you know how we always joke about.
do this.
Oh, Kevin! During the
was
line,
rough.
somebody brought their girlfriend, or they friend. Somebody
Thank you.
brought a partner.
That's very brave of you, Mike.
Thank you, dude. This is the America I want to live.
That's
in.
right.
The brave, home of the brave.
That's right.
So they brought their partner, and you know how it's always like, you know, the old thing is that they're absolutely going to hate it. And we usually apologize to partners, even if they're like, no, at first they were forcing me to listen, but now it's awesome.
Right.
We're still like, no, we're so sorry. We wasted your time.
Yeah, you gotta be, because it's like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry that the person you love
Forced
enjoys
this upon
this.
you. And now you like it, and that is such a stroke of like, that's great luck for us.
Like, it's always that, whether they're bullshitting or not. It's always like, I've always had either really good bullshitters or for sure people that were like, I ended up having a really good time and you guys were so funny, and like, it always feels genuine to me.
Yeah, and what else felt genuine was after the Spokane show, was somebody came up to us, said, this is my partner, and she's never heard you before, and this was her first exposure to you. And then we were like, sorry, and she was like, yeah, I know.
Yep. It was literally, yeah. Like, no smile.
No, it was like
no
you bumped
jo-
into somebody at the grocery store or something like that.
That didn't want to bump into you.
Well, it's like you turned your carts at the same time.
Right.
And you knocked over some cereal. You knocked some cereal off the display. And you're
yeah,
like,
and it's
okay,
someone-
which one of us is going to clean this up? That's what it felt like.
Like, oh, I'll get it.
No,
But it is.
you knocked my kid out of the cart is what it felt like.
And it's totally like someone that you don't really want to interact with. There's no reason to be mean or rude, but you're just like, I'm not in the mood for a social interaction right now.
Yeah.
And especially with this person.
Because I've just sat at a thing that was objectively not good for an hour and a half that I had no prior, like, dude, having no roots to the show at all.
I felt like that person was legitimately not
broke up.
happy.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first time I'd ever really felt that.
Yeah, that's
like
the
that
vibe.
person was not happy that they had to sit through that.
That person, that was like a silent car ride home.
All right. Well, anyway,
Dude, them trying to speak to their partner and being like,
Dude,
it wasn't that bad.
dude,
And the partner being like, let's not talk until we get to the house. Can we just have like an hour and a half of silence on the way home? Can we do that?
I can understand wanting to have absolute silence after one of our shows in general, but wanting to have like I'm
Silent
upset
car
with
ride.
you silent car ride. There's a different energy in the car. with that
Secretly
one.
wishing for an elk to hit on the way home.
All right. I want to thank Headgum. I want to thank Kevin.
Is
I wanna-
okay if we thank Kevin?
Let's thank Leah too while we're at it.
Can we thank Corey for Christ's
And let's
sake?
thank Corey and Josh.
What about Josh?
Josh made some funny memes. Josh makes funny memes, DB memes. Make sure you're giving those love if you see those on the Twitters and the Instagrams.
There are some people who share our stuff in their stories on the daily, and I just want to say that it's like, if it's not word of mouth, because you straight up can't tell anybody about this show, because about 20% of them will like it, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll even have a shot at like 50-50 shot. 20% will have a 50-50 shot at liking this. I sound like
That's
Scott
a lot of
Steiner.
numbers.
But if you are one of those people who share like clips and stuff every week, thank you so much. Like we see them and we try to like as many as possible.
Yeah.
And if you ever wanted to help the show, or if you ever want to break up with your partner, I guess, send them this show.
Think about the people who like their parents follow them on Instagram or like their boss, and they're like, no way in hell am I going to share this cum clip or
No,
whatever.
never ever.
I've never. And then so really, truly, the street team are the ones that are tweeting or sharing the reels or the clips or whatever on Instagram.
Yeah.
They don't mind if their dad sees them sharing some weird shit.
Even if it's just on their close stories, which dad and mom are also on.
That's right. And why are we on that? Guys, Squarespace is a wonderful service for you. MikeFalzone.com, the very place people went to get information on all the tickets to Mike's upcoming shows and DB shows and what have you, is a Squarespace website.
Dude, that's 100% right. And thank you for remembering that, Steve. It was so easy for me to add all the ticket links in one place and to have that place be easy to find and reliable. And I thank Squarespace for that. Steve, because I don't know how to do that HTML horse.
What does it even stand for?
I don't know. I think
Hard
it's
to
like it's one of
learn.
those things where it's like it's more about the picture when all the characters come together. I think it makes a horse.
Right. Oh, when you put the shapes together to get into the website.
HTTP looks like what the internet is.
Hard to.
I'll tell you what I do know how to do.
Try.
Hard to try.
No, HTML.
Oh, HTTP.
Tough to try.
Hot to try.
All cops. So I just want to say that it's not only it's easy to fix, it's easy for me to update, but it's great, reliable, 24/7 customer service, 24 hours a day. One time, the day my grandfather died, I had a problem with my email list, and they were able to help me out right away. So I wanna
Is
say
this an
thank you.
alien? We have an alien on the show.
It's just I was going too fast when I was saying it. I said a lot of this ad in the future already.
But I will say that absolutely everything Mike said is true, and it's easy to make your own website. You can do it on your phone. You don't have to install anything. You don't have to really know much about how to make a website because they help you every step of the way, including with a 24-hour tech support line that you could call in with any questions you may have about how to set the dang thing up. But trust me, it's so easy, you're probably not going to need that. But don't take my word for it. Go to squarespace.com and get that free trial. Try it out, see what you like. If you think it's fun and easy, go to squarespace.com/banter and you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Isn't that exciting? That's squarespace.com for the free trial. Try it out. If you love it, go to squarespace.com/banter. Get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain and help your boys out on the show you like. Which is
Help the
hopefully
boys out on the show you like. Remember to help your boys out on the show you like on www.dynamicbanter.
Yes. Guys, I want to talk about rocket money. Zoom! Zoom to the moon! Guys, rocket money, mamma mia! Ay, 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 ay. Rocket money creates a customized budget to help you better understand your finances and stay on track to meet your goals. Rocket money helps you track your spending habits. Because listen, sometimes we get a little crazy. Hey, I got a little bit of money in the bank. I can go order some yum-yums. And I want to go buy myself some new clothes because I'm trying to go to the club.
And we're all in the club when we're families. I'm with your family in the whole club.
Yes.
So go back to the club.
And I'll tell you guys, you're not going to believe what your spending habits look like when you have a clear view of what is going on. And Rocket Money helps you do that.
It's like getting a glasses prescription for your finances.
Thank you, Mike. I've been trying to figure out the most succinct way to explain this to people. And the thing is quite simply, Rocket Money is a personal finance app that empowers you to save more.
Hold on, Steve had to grow real big real fast. He's coming back. Hold on 1 second. Stay tuned for the end of that ad. Steve had to get real big.
Oh no! And I'll tell you guys. Listen, with Rocket Money, you can see all your checking, savings, credit cards, and investments in one convenient place.
Just like Steve could see everything in the land.
I'm shrinking back down.
Oh, okay.
Whew. So guys, Rocket Money can help you set up a custom budget by identifying top spending categories and suggesting areas where you can adjust your spending habits. How about that? We're talking about calculating your monthly spending allowance and alert you when you're close to going over your budget. It's like a money mommy. Right, Kevin?
It's like a money mommy, you
Money
said?
mommy. Rocket Money has over 5 million happy members and has saved its users. All right, easy. Relax, Kevin. I know you love it, but
I'd like to start over, please. I'd like to start the show right over.
guys, and also Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you, sometimes up to 20%. We're talking saving money in places that you didn't even think you could be.
We need a theme song for...
So guys, Rocket Money has over 5 million happy members, as I said, and has saved its users over $1 billion across all the apps. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Get Rocket Money today at rocketmoney.com/banter. That's rocketmoney.com/banter. Oh no! rocketmoney.com/banter. Yeah!
He's stalled out.
Uh-oh.
He's 11'12".
Oh shit.
Damn, dude. Steve, get down from there. Get down. Get down.
I'm trying, Mike. I can't. I'm really up high.
Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down from there.
Mike, you said you had an embarrassing thing you wanted to
Oh
tell me.
yeah, what happened,
While we were
Mike?
getting ready for the show, Zoya's usually in there putting the finishing touches on getting ready for her day. And she normally does a million things at once, so she's talking on the phone in her AirPod. I called them AirBuds before. That's on me. She's talking on her AirPod, and I can never really tell because she's usually active listening. So she's putting on her clothes, and I got up real close because I knew she was about to leave, and I said like a very boyfriend thing in her ear.
Man. In the boyfriend voice.
In the boyfriend voice, and it was directly into someone else's,
so
presumably.
clearly.
Yeah. Or like in their car, the other person in their car, in their SUV.
With a bunch of people in the car.
With a bunch of other people. So that is what I did today.
I told you that Jesse Stillwell did that once, right?
He used boyfriend voice?
Yeah, and it was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because he has this, like, toy that's kind of like yours, where we'll be playing Fortnite, and he could just do, like, we were playing this game where, a Fortnite game where you're being chased by an onion. And he would go like, it was like a creative mode. It was like an onion monster.
Okay.
And he would go like, and it would be like repeated like that.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
it was really funny. And he'd use it all the time for funny shit.
Yeah.
And one time he's like telling his wife goodnight. And he goes, good night. I love you. 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 It just repeated that like really tender.
Dude, that's
I love
beautiful. That's truly beautiful.
So now we'll be like, whenever Jesse pops up, we'll be like, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Dude, that's the fucking best. That's the best, and that's something that you're like kind of embarrassed for.
Right.
But if you see it for what it is, you're like, oh, I'm sorry for being happy in your ear.
Well, and that's the thing. It's embarrassing because you're like,
It's
well,
such
I
an
don't want someone to
intimate
hear.
thing.
Yeah, it's intimate. It's just
Yeah.
for this one person.
I don't want them to hear how I fuck.
If you guys heard how I fucked, it would embarrass me a little bit.
If you heard how I fucked, I'd have to go to church.
I'd have to say, sorry, mommy. What happened?
I love you. I love you.
Mayor, coming in clear. Where you calling from? God damn it! How did we get him in here and now he's gone? All right, Kevin, have you seen any particularly stick out worthy?
See this one.
Let me grab the. Let me get into the.
Have you seen a little bit of a stick out?
Are we having a little bit of a stick out?
Put your hands up. This is a stick out.
Dude, we gotta shoot. We gotta shoot that thing.
You can tell it's quicksand from here. There's no more stick out.
That guy that Wait, is this the right one?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm seeing like a bunch of TikTok shit.
I know because we're signed up for TikTok now.
Son of a bitch.
I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Bic Pencil Extra Strong, new pastel edition. These are break resistant leads. Dude, it's a pencil with a break resistant lead.
That's amazing.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that was
Did
possible.
you know that pencils write by breaking?
Wait,
These pencils don't write for
that's
shit.
true. As you write, it slowly breaks.
These are break resistant pencils.
Isn't that beautiful? Like the way that humanity is, Mike. We just break. We every day we break.
I think everything is break resistant until you apply pressure to it. What do you think about that?
But see, notice how it doesn't say unbreakable.
No, but
It's
it
just-
has to say something.
It's resistant to breaking, which
Smooth,
means
dark writing, 10 mechanical pencils. We're talking 0.9 me.
damn, dog.
Oh, and number 2.
Those are nice. I like those colors. It's like pastel.
I didn't know they made different millimeters, like drawing widths of pencils.
That's
Am
too
I
confusing.
stupid?
No, I didn't know that either. I think that's too confusing.
Because I think back to like grade school.
Yeah.
And you just write with a wooden pencil, and then it becomes different widths as you wear it down.
Right. Or
Like,
you
it
get-
starts off as a 0.01
Right.
when it's right out of the shirt. Yeah,
You gotta work it to get to those
Yeah.
different numbers.
And then you're a lazy kid who doesn't want to get up and go to the sacapuntas,
yeah.
so it becomes a 0.98. It's like a fucking crayon, like a piece of chalk, and it makes that squeaky, squeak, squeak.
Do you remember those lead guys? Those long little thin leads that you would fill the...
Yeah, the refillable ones.
Yeah!
Is it offensive for me to remember? Yeah, you remember, don't you? You would remember.
You would remember!
You remember that.
Mike, guess what? We've got to be nice or don't be nice! Not...
Good old version, be nice or not be nice, and Joseph, he says good enough.
So the way the game is played is you need to figure out
what I think you're
what I
going
would
to
think.
do.
Yeah.
Be nice or not be nice with Mike and Steve.
Dude, hold on. We haven't had one of these in a while, and that still gets me.
Is it? It's pretty good.
It's the theme song of the thing.
It is the whole theme song. All right, let's see what this is. Monica says, "Yeah, Monica. All right. Monica says, "Be nice or not be nice. The runaway backpack."
Oh!
Hello, Mike and Steve. Greetings from Ontario, Canada. I've heard of it.
Love Ontario. Big fan. One time I told the border that I was going to Ontario, Canada. They're like, "Where are you going in Ontario?" I said, "I'm going to spend a couple days in Ontario." And they were like, "You're going to have to pull the car over and talk to us."
We're going to look in your asshole now.
And I let them because I love that country.
I love that country so much. I'll let them dig around in my asshole.
They deserve it. What a terrible thing to say. Yeah.
I have an intriguing tale I'd love to hear your thoughts on. I'll do my best to keep it short, but there are a few details I need to include for Mike to make a well-informed opinion.
Thank you for your attention to detail. It's appreciated.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. I recently went on my first overseas trip to Europe. Before this, my only experience flying was in 2019 and 2023. You know.
You're a very good TEDx speaker. Dude, you teaching a class on how to... Dude, that should be a Patreon video. Steve is a TEDx speaker instructor.
What is TEDx?
It's like a TED Talk, but smaller, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
It's more extreme.
Yeah, you're right. We should write out a big thing, whatever it is. What if we both wrote a TED Talk for each other?
Smart.
That's good.
It's like
All
that
right.
talking points game on Jackbox.
It's already a thing.
Everything's been done. We just haven't done it ourselves.
That's right. Let's do it.
Reaching time, and we're reaching time. So this journey was a big step for me, and they're both short trips to New York City is what those trips were. I felt a mix of nerves and excitement as I met my friend at the Toronto airport to board our red-eye flight to London.
You know what I'm saying?
The guy coming out with the trumpet.
He comes out and he has he dresses a butler and he has white gloves on and he takes the button away like this.
I need that.
Anyway, go ahead.
The flight was fully booked, and by the time we reached our row, a man was already settled in the middle seat. That's bad. That's always a bummer. You're like, great, now I gotta squeeze around this fucking guy.
It's two people?
Two people. Wait, one person.
One person?
No, two people. My bad.
Two people?
Two people. It's split by a guy.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite videos to watch on Pornhub.
See this girl get absolutely split by a guy.
By a guy.
Tiny blonde gets absolutely split.
Split by a guy. Yeah. What were you doing all night, Felicia? Getting split by a guy?
What we do? Getting chopped locks.
My friend asked the man if he would trade seats with her so she could sit next to me. He didn't agree or disagree. He just awkwardly smiled when asked.
What was the question?
If she could trade seats with the guy
So
that they could sit together.
Yeah,
And she took this as a yes, and they traded seats. What?
You skipped shit. After putting my backpack in the overhead compartment.
Yeah, no, I think I read that part. My friend asked if he could trade seats with her.
Okay.
That was a HeadGum podcast.